Today, we're going to try to mow the entire yard. I believe we've got it to where it's going to run. It's not overheating. I don't think it has a blowed head gasket, but we're truly going to test it out today. We mow about 3 acres here, and we're going to see what happens. Let's mow some grass. Make sure everybody is aware. I've never owned a zero-turn mower before. We live on a pretty steep slope. This could get interesting. You guys might really get to see some pretty crazy action, because at the bottom of that slope it's about a 10-foot drop-off. Yes, there are a few trees there, so you know, if all gets bad, we'll just hit a tree. Hopefully we hit a tree. But we are up to water temperature. There's no water coming out the overflow. I did run the overflow up because I overfilled it. I didn't want it being over full to cause me to think that it's putting compression in there. So we've got this thing where to run right on top of the battery, basically. We're going to give this thing a shot. And realistically, I've mowed with a zero-turn one time. It was not a Skag. It was a Cub Cadet. It was not this big. So we're just going for it, man. Well, we've been mowing for about 10 minutes now, and looks like we need to make a slight adjustment to the idle once it gets hot. But the water temperature's perfect. No complaints whatsoever. It will idle just fine when it's all the way up. So you put it down just a little bit, and idle's a little bit more rough. So we're going to finish mowing the yard. I call this a success so far. Well, So far, water temperature is holding its center. Everything's looking pretty good so far. I made a small adjustment to the idle. Seems to be doing fine. Maybe a little too low, maybe. But now, oh yeah, no moisture, no moisture. Now the question at hand is, oh come on baby. Idle it up a little bit. Now the question at hand is, you guys have been asking for an update. I haven't updated you because it looks like crap back here. I planted wheat. I wanted my wheat to Here, let's spit that out again. I want my wheat to reseed itself. And here where we had the volleyball court, you guys got to remember this is all that sandstone powder. It's really not great dirt, but it will grow weeds really well. As you can see all the little seeds down in there. I want this wheat, as you can see, that's a bunch of wheat seed. And I didn't want to cut it until I knew that when I cut it, it'd spread it out and kind of broadcast it. Yes, the birds are going to eat a lot of it, but the other thing here is there's a lot of rocks in this. I went through and I harried it and all that good jazz when I seeded it, but the seed took a little bit because I seeded it late, and you can see I've got some washouts and things like that. All of this can be fixed. However, in today's world with grass seed, $129.99 for a 50-pound bag. Wheat is $13.50 a bag, and it looks really pretty and green in the winter. I'm gonna go with the cheap stuff for now. We've also got a little bit of a drainage thing that we had to fix over here on this end. We were getting water in the neighbor's yard. It was coming from a small waterfall over there and coming down, so I had to cut a new ditch, force it over. But anyway, the question is, do we try to mow this with the skid steer? Or with the skid steer. Oh my goodness. See, I ain't even owned the son of a gun long enough to know what the heck it's called. With the zero turn, skag. I think we are. I think we're going to come down this edge and just see how bad it really is. If I lose control on that steep hill, it's, you know, it's flat down there. I'm not as worried as that drop off as you guys. And that did fine. Mowed the yard really well. Little review here. Again, I've never owned a zero turn. I've only mowed with a zero turn one time. I'm used to mowing with that Massey Ferguson you see sitting right over there. Tires on a Massey Ferguson have a world of give. My yard is a mess. I'm sure you guys saw in the time lapse there, I've got a ditch that I covered up that ended up washing out because we got a really hard rain right after I'd done it. So I put some fresh dirt back on it. Haven't disced it yet. Mike and I are crazy busy. So anyway, got a lot of things I got to do to get the yard to where it's easier to mow it with the zero turn now. But there's also places I would normally go with my tractor that, well, don't get me wrong, the skid steer went there. It is an absolute billy goat is what I'd call it. This sucker will climb up on anything, but the front end really likes to come off the ground, and it has a weight right there on the front in between the tires right above the deck where it says skag. That's a 200-pound weight, and that obviously, it was enough weight to keep me from coming all the way over, but let's just say there might be a new hole in that really crappy seat. That's the next comment. Holy crap, this thing beats the crap out of you. I'm gonna have to get a seat for that. If the wife plans on mowing, there's no way I would do that to her. Maybe I should, but she might try it out with that seat on there, but as long as this thing keeps running, we're not going to leave that seat on there for very long. And the other thing is, those tires had really good grip. I'm not saying I had any issues slipping or sliding around. However, I do want some more aggressive tires in case I do need to mow when it's a little bit damp. It is popcorn fart dry right now. I mean, it is dry. We had a 2-inch rain, but it doesn't take long for this stuff to dry out this time of year. So on these hills back in here that you guys can see behind me, I'd really like to have better grip. I'd really like to probably put some tractor tires on it, but again, we're probably gonna mow with it for a little bit, make sure we don't have any other things we need to fix opposed to buying tires. So Let's try to mow this jungle down. It's gonna get interesting. Rule number one before you mow, check your gas. I tell you, it's rough, but the old Sabertooth, it's getting the job done. I'll show you guys some of this stuff. Thank goodness these rocks are sandstone, because we're basically mowing rocks too. Look at that washout. Look at that chunk of concrete. Thank goodness that chunk of concrete's low. There's all kinds of stuff in here, but it's mowing up. It's looking good. I think it's looking good. We're gonna put some gas in the lawnmower and see how much more we can get done before the sun sets completely down on us. Let's get some gas. Well, we ran out of daylight. We're back to moonlight. I call that a success, everybody. I've mowed that up in there is 2.5, 3 acres. This back here is a full 3 acres. I did not get that hillside over there, but I did start up onto that hillside, and I got onto a steep part right down here. I know it's dark, hard for you guys to see, but I was getting to a point where I couldn't see much to be able to react to something negative. So for me, I feel as though I have proven the mower works. I have proven the mower does not have a blown head gasket. I hope I don't jinx myself there. But the next test and tune is probably going to have to be the wife. You know, everybody's recommending paint the mower, paint the mower, paint the mower. Well, you know, I just don't think I'm going to paint the mower. It's doing just fine without paint, and it's very similar to wives. You give them a facelift and they start to act up, so probably not going to paint it. However, hope y'all enjoyed the video. As always, like, comment, subscribe.